My name is Gabriel, and today I'll be giving my presentation on the Hawaiian Islands with a focus on volcanic activity on the Big Island. First, I want to start with the formation of islands. The Hawaiian Islands were formed by a hotspot in the middle of the Pacific Plate. A hotspot in geology, a hotspot is a fixed area in the Earth's mantle where intense heat generates magma, leading to volcanic activity independent of tectonic plate boundaries. While the hotspot remains in the same place, the plate moves independent of that, leading to the island chain we see now. If you can see my graphic on the screen, where you can see how the plate, use arrows indicate how the plate has moved in the past, and how the hotspot remains in the same spot, creating each island from Oahu to Hawaii to Maui. All those islands were created by the same hotspot in the same place. A mantle plume is the source of heat for the hotspot. So it's speculated that they originate from deep in the mantle, possibly near the core mantle boundary. Now onto the geography of the islands. The Hawaiian Islands are located in the central Pacific Ocean and are an archipelago formed by volcanic activity over a stationary hotspot, like I said. The chain includes 8 main islands, with the Big Island being the youngest, featuring active volcanoes like I'm butchering the names, Mauna Loa and Kilauea. The island's landscapes range from lush forests to towering sea cliffs to volcanic craters and arid plains, influenced by their topography and orientation to trade winds. These features create a diverse environment with distinct windward and leeward climates, being dry on one side, wet on the other. Now on to possibly the most interesting aspect of the Hawaiian geography, is the volcanoes. Now there's numerous volcanoes dotted over all the islands, but the majority of them, first of all of them are shield type volcanoes, but the majority of those volcanoes are now extinct or dormant, with the only two volcanoes with eruptions in recent times being Mauna Loa and Kilauea, with the eruptions in November 22 and 2018 respectively. Now on to human volcano interaction, particularly on the positive impact. Volcanoes activity in Hawaii has a multifaceted impact on the state. On one hand, it presents many opportunities. On the other hand, it presents many challenges. For opportunities, one has a lot to do with tourism, which is the increased visitor interest. Eruptions often draw significant attention, leading to a surge in tourists to witness volcanic events. For example, the 2022 eruption of Mauna Loa attracted thousands of visitors, resulting in fully booked hotels and helicopter tours for like months to come, even into the off season of tourism. And additionally, it provides economic benefits. As the influx of tourists come in, they boost the local economies. They spend money on commodities and tourist-related things such as tours and hotel rooms, like I mentioned earlier. And lastly, it creates unique attractions like lava flows and new geological formations, which often become long-term tourist attractions, driving sustained visitation to affected areas. Sustained visitation means sustained income. However, it's not all good. Human volcano interactions often have negative impacts as well. For example, infrastructure damage. Several eruptions led to significant infrastructure damage all across the islands, destroying highways, homes, and adversely affecting tourism. The 2018 Kilauea eruption, for example, destroyed hundreds of homes and led to a significant downturn in local businesses. There's also health concerns when it comes to volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruptions release gases and particulate matter that can create volcanic smog or VOG, which can cause respiratory issues and inflame already their respiratory issues, and deter visitors who are concerned about air quality, like people with asthma and the like, from coming to the islands during those periods of eruption. And lastly, the perception of danger. Even when eruptions are localized, widespread media coverage can create a perception that the entire island or state is unsafe, leading to cancellations and reduced bookings. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. On one hand, volcano eruptions can lead to more tourism. On the other hand, they can also lead to a downturn in tourism if they're seen to be too violent or too destructive and too dangerous to bring, too dangerous for tourists to justify coming here to see. Now on to state-related policies as a result of volcanic activity in recent years. For the first state-related policy I want to focus on was new subdivisions, the creation of new subdivisions in high-risk areas for eruptions. Because of because of both housing prices and population increase, there was a steep population growth in 1970 to 1980 in the high-risk areas surrounding the LERTs, or the Lower East Rift Zone. This is an area. This area had previously been zoned for farmland, and with the new subdivision, it was now zoned for single-family homes and properties where homes would live. So as a result, in the 2018 eruption, there was far more destruction to people and property than in previous eruptions surrounding the area. This ties into the second program, state-related policy I want to address, is just the buyback program, which for those that were affected in the 2018 Kilauea eruption, which just offers them a $230,000 buyout for their house if they want to leave the area and live somewhere new. Or also offers grants for those who wish to redevelop their land if they want to continue living in the lower east, in the LERTs, or the Lower East Rift Zone, like I said. And lastly, the last state-related policy towards volcanic activity is a shelter system. The shelter system, emergency shelters were set up to accommodate evacuees from the affected areas. This is a 2018 eruption and the November 22 eruption, both from Mauna Loa and Kilauea, respectively. These shelters were equipped to provide safe refuge from both lava flows and hazardous air conditions. They are equipped with air purification systems that maintain air quality, filtering out harmful gases and particulates, reducing the health risk of the shelter occupants, and were staffed with medical personnel that could help individuals who had negative effects from volcanic emissions and needed treatment and monitoring. So in conclusion, the dynamic relationship between humans and volcanoes in Hawaii highlights both the challenges and opportunities presented by living in the shadows of natural forces. On one hand, they are a great boon to tourism and allowing for bringing lots of income to the state every year with the seeing of volcanoes and lava flows and such. On the other hand, it causes much destruction and limits to where people can build their homes without being in danger from extremely dangerous, to at least property and people, natural disaster like volcanic eruption. So thank you for listening to my presentation. All right, and here is my works cited, references.